Our last segment here on financial markets. My name is Anthony and I am your host. Now, cryptocurrency, again, not very good news for East Africans here, but not just in East Africa, but all over the world. Cryptocurrency has become a big problem as very many people are facing unprecedented losses. Now, let's look at the journey that cryptocurrency has taken in East Africa. Now, according to reports from very trusted sources, cryptocurrency meltdown this time round has rattled over 12 million people just in East Africa. Those are investors in cryptocurrency. A painful financial journey, of course, has ensued for at least 12 million East Africans who are now counting billions of dollars losses, both from the cryptocurrency market crash and a series of related Ponzi get-rich-quick schemes that have unfolded in the wake of the crisis. As extreme market conditions force legitimate crypto exchanges to close shop, with many laying off employees, reports of some crypto investment schemes disappearing with investors' funds have started to surface. This raises the questions about the future of cryptocurrency and other unconventional financial assets in East Africa. Bitcoin, which is the world's oldest and largest cryptocurrency, worth $67,566 in November last year. $67,000 last year in November has shed 70% of its value and is now struggling to stay above the 20,000 mark. And if you check the data right now, if you go to CoinDesk, which is a tracker for all the cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin is currently at 18,975. Think about it. From 67,000 US dollars worth of one coin per coin to 18,000 US dollars. That's beyond 50% loss. And this is exactly what we are accounting for now. Now, in general, reports say that a total global market value of all crypto assets has fallen by about 890 billion US dollars from 2.8 trillion in November last year, which has plunged several East Africans that are holding these assets into financial turmoil. You can imagine, because this is way beyond imagination in terms of what people are going through, those especially who have invested in cryptocurrency. You bought a coin before November and it was worth 67,000 US dollars. And right now, just less than a year, that same coin is worth below 20,000, about 18,000 US dollars. That's a loss of about, let's say, 50,000 US dollars per coin. And it's quite saddening for some of these investors that have actually been investing this. Also, there has been a growing cases of fraudulent schemes around cryptocurrency investments, which, according to American Consumer Protection Agency, the Federal Trade Commission, led some 26,000 people to lose over 1 billion US dollars in just since 2021 in the US alone. Just 2 weeks ago, some cryptocurrency founders disappeared after defrauding Kenyans would-be investors at least 8.5 million US dollars barely 6 months after it surfaced on the internet. And this week, 4 young men were brutally murdered over alleged crypto scamming. This is a very serious issue, honestly, And of course, as financial markets here, we care about life, we care about the security of your money. Right now, if someone tells you, hey, get me some money and I'll help you invest in crypto, please run for your life and don't trust anyone with your money in this kind of situation. First of all, cryptocurrencies are direct assets investments. So you don't have to go through an intermediate. They are completely decentralized, so you don't have to go through a certain regulator or authority. You go simply and buy the coins yourselves. So why would you go into a company that helps you to trade and buy crypto? This is exactly what we are witnessing in Kenya, but as well as in Uganda. Now, in Uganda, let's look at the case of Uganda. In Uganda, the study shows that 5,000 victims of a crypto pyramid scheme recently lodged a petition demanding that the government should refund them $2.7 million they lost to a farm allegedly licensed by the state. Kenyan blockchain expert Professor Bitange Ndemo told reporters that this season marks the beginning of the waning success of Ponzi schemes clothed in crypto assets investment garb, as people have started to learn their anatomy and will avoid them. Now, Professor Ndemo, who is a former principal secretary of the ICT Ministry and chairperson of the task force on blockchain and artificial intelligence in Kenya, said that many people are gullible to crypto scamming because of lack of knowledge, coupled with a palace appetite for a fast income. And this is the problem. Many want to earn really quickly, and they don't want to get the information. They don't know where to find the information, and they are not willing to find out. And it's exactly the biggest problem: lack of information and ignorance. By now, many have to be wary of any schemes that promise guaranteed huge returns. I agree with Professor Ndemo as well. Any scamming thrives on lack of knowledge, and the more people learn about emerging blockchain technology, the less these pyramid schemes will exist. That's according to Mr. George Mwakisha, who is East Africa's country representative for Binance, a global crypto exchange. That is a story from Kenya, but as well affecting us here in Uganda, where very many people have before reported losses after investing heavily in some of these assets like cryptocurrency, and people closed shop, people disappeared with their money, and this is very, very unfortunate. Like I've always said on the program, information is the key here. If you don't have sufficient information, even if it's about the stock market, even if it's about the treasury bonds, the equity market, the fixed incomes, don't invest. Invest only in what you understand. It's the key. It's the key, really, to avoid unexpected, unwanted losses, such as the ones we are seeing all over the world. But talking about cryptocurrency a little bit, when I check on the prices of cryptocurrencies, all the top coins are in red, going down. Looking at Bitcoin with the price of $19,000 high and losses of 5.34%. Ethereum with prices of $1,022 and losses of about 9.75%. These are daily losses in value. Binance Coin with losses of about 6.37% to about $206.9 per coin. XRP with about losses of about 6.94%. I'm seeing the only green coin here is the Binance USD coin, and I'm seeing also Paxos dollar is another coin that is in green, but over 99% of the coins are in red, meaning they're going down. And it's not a time to buy, it's not a time to sell, it's a time to buy. that's funny, but that's how it works. When the prices are going down, you buy. But definitely don't buy without sufficient knowledge, sufficient financial advice, and sufficient knowledge on the repercussions of whatsoever you're doing. So yeah, cryptocurrency has been tumbling, and of course, very many people are worried, as many people also liquidate some of these assets to go into safer investments due to uncertainty. In a related story, there is, of course, very much criticism and the U.S. government and what's happening in the economy, as many people are predicting a recession. Now, this recession will be the most severe yet, according to Mr. Peter Schiff, of course, who called the 2008 financial crash, and now says that the next downturn will be worse. And here is what he had to say about this, expected recession. Of course, by now, quite a few celebrities, including Elon Musk and Suze Orman, have predicted the recession that would hit the United States economy. Peter Schiff, who is the CEO and Chief Global Strategist of Euro-Pacific Capital, is the latest expert to sound the alarm. He said that, and I quote, "Anyone thinking this recession will be mild doesn't understand recessions. The longer interest rates are held too low during a boom, and the more mistake that must be corrected during a bust. Since rates have never been so low for so long, this recession will be one of the most severe yet to be seen." Schiff also knows a thing or two about preparing for a downturn, and in fact, we can clearly see that the theme in Euro-Pacific Capital Management's latest 13F filing with the Security Exchange Commission. And of course, this is always one of the things that indicates a recession: very high prices, inflation, and also an increase in interest rates, which is already being witnessed around the world as various countries try to tackle inflation by increasing their interest rates. Now, as of March 31st, the Euro-Pacific Asset Management held about 1.645 million shares of Barrick Gold and 335,000 shares of Newmont and about 409,000 shares of Agnico Eagle. In fact, the three gold mining giants were the firm's top three holdings, representing about 8%, 5.4%, and 5% of its portfolio, respectively. And of course, gold is one of the things that most Americans and people around the world think reserves currency. But in actual sense, gold cannot be printed out of thin air like fiat money. And its safe haven status means demand typically increases during the times of uncertainty. If gold prices go up, miners like Newmont, Barrick, and Agnico will likely enjoy bigger profits. And that's why most investors are looking at investing in some of these gold mining ventures. Now, dividends, the recession-proof income stocks. Now, dividend stocks offer investors a great way as well to earn a passive income stream, but some can also be used as hedge against recessions. Case in point, the fourth largest holding at Euro-Pacific is cigarette giant British American Tobacco, accounting for 4.6% of the portfolio. The maker of Kent and Dunhill cigarettes pays quarterly dividends of 68 cents per share, giving the stocks an attractive annual yield of 6.2%. Schiff's fund also owns about over 160,000 shares of Philip Morris International, another tobacco 1%. The Marlboro cigarette producer is Euro-Pacific's ninth largest holding, with a portfolio weighted of about 3.1%. And the demand for cigarettes is highly inelastic, meaning large price changes only induce small change in demand, because people who are addicted to cigarettes and smoking will smoke anyway, no matter how much the price of the cigarette goes up. And that demand is largely immune to economic shocks as well. So if you're uncomfortable with investing in the so-called scene stocks, the British American and the Philip Morris might be worth searching further. That is according to Mr. Schiff, who is the CEO of Euro-Pacific Capital, saying that definitely, as we head for what he says is going to be a recession in the United States economy, we are supposed to save and invest in safer investments and where we can actually see certainty and not in uncertain ventures. Of course, those are opinions, and personal opinions definitely could change from person to person. But personally, I think right now the best thing to do is make sure you're investing in something that will actually make a return no matter what. Otherwise, if you're not sure, don't invest, because we are living in very turbulent economic times. Crypto is coming down. The stock market is also not doing that well. And that's why most investors now are looking at the treasury bonds and bills, which are safer investments compared to the former, that I mentioned. Of course, thank you very much for staying with us. Remember, we are Smart24 TV and we drive business. We mean business 24/7 every single day of the week as we take you through what the world of business has to offer. This has been Financial Markets. You can always follow us on our social media platforms, including our Twitter handle, that is at Smart24, or our Facebook page at Smart24 TV Official, or you can watch us live on YouTube, on our YouTube live stream at Smart24 TV for more information. As well, you can visit our website at www.smart24tv.com for any more information that you may require regarding some of our discussions here on the topic. And yes, definitely we'll be catching you tomorrow, same time, same place. Remember to always save and invest. Make sure your savings are returning something back to your pockets and not just consuming space in that box without bringing you any sort of returns. Next is going to be, of course, Mr. Makuwia with UG Tukole, and other programs continue here at Smart24. For now, bye, and of course, see you tomorrow.
Baba, the NSSF Managing Director, said they look forward to having CEOs and CSOs attend the forum next year, as they would be able to decide for the company better. On the procurement report, Biarugaba said real estate took the lion's share of the financial year 2022-2023 procurement budget, whereas the list goes to motor vehicles,
which we are concentrating on next year. We're concentrating on real estate. We've got about almost 550 billion shillings worth of procurements to get, and IT, where we have about 22 billion shillings of contracts to be able to give out. So our ideal supplier should be one, obviously, that is compliant with NSSF. That's number one. But number two, must be able to bring a lot of value to our services. So one of the things we would like to do is would like to provide low-cost housing. So do you have the technology to be able to give us low-cost housing? The second issue that we'd like them to do is to give us an opportunity to also provide value in the procurements. The other area or supplier that we want is in the technology area. We're doing a lot of innovation. We would like automation. We would like to be able to come up with a solution that gives our workers, the people who work for us, a lot of support so that they're able to automate the mundane jobs that they do. So we need technology that's going to help us to work from home, to work with ease, and also to help us increase coverage. So you imagine, because of the change in law, we need quite a lot of the companies.
He encouraged local suppliers to avoid importing and selling to NSSF, but rather have a long-term strategy that would strengthen business relationships within the fund.
Around inflation, it's around the cost of doing business, it's around the revenues being squeezed.
On how to improve suppliers' capacity and competitiveness, the officials had this to say.
Even bring it up to quarterly basis, whereby they are able to be given tips on how they can submit competitive bids in order to challenge international firms. We are committed to ensuring that when the value is higher than the capacities of the local firms, the international firms shall be required to subcontract service providers from the local environment. Also, we help them in terms of submitting bids that are responsive, especially that those are outside our business.
The manager for capacity building at PPDA Authority highlighted some of the key government guidelines for suppliers to note going forward.
They need in order to do business electronically with government, because that's where we are headed. Whoever is not registered on electronic government procurement in future is not going to do business with the various procuring and disposing entities. So I encourage all companies that want to participate, that want to do business with government, to register on the EGP system and also to attend these weekly online Zoom meetings to be able to acquire the right skills